Okay, we're rolling. Yeah, the numbers is rolling. Okay, this is our last one here. Oh, wait a minute. I got the wrong hat on. I still got my politicking hat on. I got to put on my UGMMHL hat. There we go. Our party hat, because we got the UGMMHL, the User's Guide and Maintenance Manual to Human Life. We got to have our right hat on for that. Okay, there we go. That's much better. There we go. Now I don't have my politicking hat on. I got my UGMMHL, the User's Guide and Maintenance Manual to Human Life. And once again, we're reading my little book that I couldn't get published, no how, no way. And so I'm going to try to get it out there to you, see if there's any interest out there. And if you try to talk it up a little bit and tell some folks that you'd like to get a copy of it and all that kind of stuff, then maybe I could sell it and make a little money and fix the leaky roof and, do a couple other things around here I need to get done. And help out the new Independence Party. We're trying to get Miss Sarah Palin and Herman Cain elected to the White House in 2012 elections. So we'll see how that goes. Now, you remember the last time I read you the disclaimer, and so now we're ready to get into the meat of it. Ready to get into content. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna. This is the UGMMHL companion series from an information technology perspective, Volume 1, the first book of Moses called Genesis, how it all began. Now, that doesn't really tell you a lot about what's inside. The next volume, and I've kind of got a little bit of a start on it, but not that much. It'll tell you a little bit more about what you got inside. It's titled the UGMMHL Companion Series from an Information Technology Perspective, Volume 2, the second book of Moses, called Exodus, Let's Get the Flock Out of Here. Now, that'll give you a little bit of flavor of what you find inside. A lot of folks think I'm making fun of God, but I'll tell you this right now. I wouldn't make fun of him. But he does have a sense of humor, and if you don't believe that, you just have not seen a duck-billed platypus lately. You go see you a duck-billed platypus, and you know that my God has a sense of humor. I'll tell you that right now. And so we're going to get right into it right now. This is Section 4, Content, A, Chapter 1. In the beginning, God. Now, you're going to stop right there, and I'm going to read this a little bit. See, normally I just do it from notes, but I'm reading this at this time, and so you'll see me looking off more than looking at you, and so I hope you forgive me for that. All right. He could have stopped right there and have said it all, but he figured you might need a little more to go on if you wanted to have a happy, healthy, and fruitful life. In the beginning, God. That's all there was. No universe, no people, no anything, just God. He could have said, I'm so lonely and depressed here all alone, I could just kill myself. Some people think he did. They say God is dead. I don't think so. I think he's very much alive, and I intend to try to prove it. And we'll see how we go with that. I gave this to a chaplain fella I knew to review it, and he said, good luck with that. I said, okay. So anyway, let's go to number 2 here. Since there was just God, he took the only reasonable action he created. This is where the Big Bang theory of creation is validated. In an instant of time, bang! Just like that fella Emeril Lagasse, the chef fella, the Cajun chef fella. He'll go bam, and throw a little spice in something and just spice it right up. Well, that's what God did with there. He just started the universe in the Big Bang, and he says, in an instant of time, God created the heavens and the earth. And now wait a minute. Why didn't he just say he created the universe and be done with it? He didn't say that. He just said, in the beginning, God, blah, 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 blah. And so, well, it's because he wanted to draw attention to the point that the UGMMHL was concerned with the earth and with the human beings that he would put upon it in good time. And not with all the problems of the rest of the universe. That's called the heavens. The heavens are the rest of the universe. You got the earth and you got the heavens. Well, you got the earth and then you got everything else. That's the heavens. Okay. Number 3. And the earth was without form and void. I think a lot of people misunderstand this part. Let me give you an example. If I said, now listen up. I'm going to give you 3 statements. And then I'm going to ask you a question and see if you can answer it based on these 3 English statements. Now, these aren't Hebrew Aramaic statements like the Bible was written in, like the first part of the Bible was written in. These ain't even Koine Greek like the second part, like the New Testament was written in. These are the English translation things, and so this is what you say. If I ask you these questions, listen up. I bought a car. The car was wrecked. I fixed the car. Okay, now you play that back as many times as you need to figure it out. And here's the question. Now, many of you would naturally think, how many of you would think that I bought a wrecked car? Or would you think the car got wrecked after I bought it? You can't tell from those statements. Let me say it again. I bought a car. The car was wrecked. I fixed the car. The car was wrecked. Does that tell you it was wrecked when I bought it, or that it was wrecked after I bought it? Doesn't say, does it? In the English, it's ambiguous. Okay. Well, that's the way most of you think about that. And however, if I substitute in there, let me tell it to you again, see what you think. I bought a car. The car came to be wrecked, and I fixed the car. Now you know that the car was wrecked after I bought it, right? It came to be wrecked. Well, that's what happened there in the first part of the Bible. However, it was wrecked. Yeah, I wouldn't make it clear. After I bought it, yeah, I said that. And the earth, okay, and the earth, which has existed ever since the Big Bang for billions of years, the earth has existed ever since that first Big Bang. It was created. You know, it separated out from all those other little bits and pieces, and it started up. But when it says the earth was without form and void, it meant the earth came to be without form and devoid of life. That's when God had to lock it in a cake of ice in the Ice Age, and we're going to get into that in just a second here. Okay, number 4. That would mean that the earth had existed in various forms for billions of years before God had to destroy all life on it and set the stage for the creation of human beings. He's not really forthcoming on the why all life on earth had to be destroyed. But there are some hints later in Genesis. We're going to get into that, a little bit of the angelic conflict and how Satan took a third of the angels with him. And, of course, he knows that if he's only got a third and God's got 2/3, he's outnumbered. And so he's got to have him a little breeding program to get him some more troops. And that's what he did with the dinosaurs and with the Neanderthals and the Cro-Magnon. He tried to breed them up, make him an army, and God had to wipe them out. So we'll see how that goes later on. And we will explore those when we get there. It's not even clear about how he did it. Some say meteor, some say asteroid. That's how God, started the Ice Age. Some say meteor, some say asteroid, some say comet. Still others believe volcanoes, But if he thought it was really that important for us to know, then he would have told us. And for now, realize that he had a few more important facts to impart to you, and that's what he does in the rest of the Bible there. Okay. Now, this is one of these notes. See, I put notes in here, I spell them out, capital N, capital O, capital T, capital E, big note there. You know how some of those technical manuals you read, they give you little tips, hints, and notes and all that kind of stuff. Well, this is that kind of thing with this book. It says, this is the first of those notes I mentioned earlier in the introduction. Now, of course, I skipped over the introduction. I read you the disclaimer, but I didn't read you the intro because you always skip over that anyway. And so we'll read that at the end, then these things will make sense anyway. But this one concerns with proper teaching techniques, and you reference paragraph 3, B5 in the overview. As a technical instructor with the U.S. Air Force, I used the following principles of training to benefit and sometimes annoy my students as God does in Genesis, as well as throughout the UGMMHL. Okay. The first thing, these are the principles of training that I learned in the United States Air Force. You see if it doesn't have a little meaning to you today. Okay, the first thing learned is the best remembered. The last thing learned is the best remembered. The thing most often repeated is the best remembered. And now there's one other one if you folks that still spank your kids, you know this one. Things learned in a traumatic situation are best remembered, and that's why when little Johnny tries to go out there in the street, and you try to tell him, no, little Johnny, don't go out in the street. You'll get hit by a car and get killed. And he goes, what's a car? What's killed? But if you just paddle him on his little bottom a few times and tell him, don't cross this line. Don't go out into the street. Don't step off the sidewalk into the street. Then you get created a little trauma in his life, and he'll remember that, and it'll save his life. And that's what we want to do out there. We want to save the lives, the lives of the kids and that. And that's the way to do it. Some folks don't believe in spanking. Well, that's a problem, because if you don't teach some kids, they don't understand the English language that well. If you don't teach them with a little bit of trauma on their backside, then of course it don't make no sense to them, and they'll just go out in the street anyway and get run over. So you do what you want to do, people. But we in the New Independence Party, we support spanking you the youngins so that they don't turn out to be like a bunch of heathens like we got out there today. Anyway. A couple of the other things that you do in training is things best remembered if a period of processing time is allowed between repetitions. So if you repeat something a few times, then wait a few days, then repeat it again, it'll get better set in their minds. You say it again slightly differently, and when you finally think they're tired of hearing it, you say it one more time with emphasis and lots of pulpit pounding and foot stomping. If you do that, then you'll get things through to them. And I think that's where we're going to stop today. So we're just going to say you check out our other tracks out there on information technology and the NIPPOs, the New Independence Party, and the anything and everything track. You never know what we're going to talk about there. All right, and these are all Big Al's opinions, so you check out there for Big Al, and you'll see what you got. All right, we're going to say bye-bye for now. Y'all take care of each other out there. Don't be doing too much fussing and feuding. Be kind to each other. And above it all, God bless America. Thank you. Bye-bye.